Assalamu alaikum. Today's statement is titled, A Warning to the Arab and Non-Arab Nations. The statement was written by the awaited Imam Mahdi, Nasser Mohammed Al-Yamani, on the 13th of May 2023, and it will be recited to you by one of his supporters. In the name of Allah, there is no power except with Allah the Great, who makes reprisals on the tyrant Arab and non-Arab decision-makers and their ascendant government officials and iniquitous soldiers. Indeed, Allah knows best what is in your hearts. He has always been oft forgiving to the ones who often turn to Him in true penitence. I see you are feeling secure from the planning of Allah, the One, the overpowering, the controller over the dominion of the heavens and the earth. I've warned you ad nauseam of Allah's planning, but it increased you in not save aversion, arrogance, oddness, and plotting. Howbeit your plotting is doomed to fail, you lack confidence in the planning of Allah against you, despite doing and saying what He does not approve of. It is also notable that you are going to hold Arab and non-Arab summits, but I wish Arab summits were held out of religious motives or in support of Arab nationalism ideology or as per your claim for achieving multipolarity. But allow me to say, tell it to the Marines, I'm not buying this. Lo and behold, O Arab leaders, why do you insist on enthroning the former president, the worst ever Donald Trump, back in the US? He shall continue executing their global fanatic Zionist movement in which they fight Allah and Islam while you know it. You're also aware he wants to make Jerusalem the capital of Al-Taghut while you know that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is of the great sanctities of Allah. Do you seek honor through him? You'll surely know that honor belongs only to Allah, the One, the Overpowering, and Lord of the heavens and the earth. O Arab leaders, you cast Allah away behind your backs, feeling secure from His planning, but you know good and well that the summits you hold are not for defending your people, religion, and sanctities. You're just carrying out the command of the leader of human devils, Donald Trump. I know with the certain knowledge that you support the Republican Party in the USA. In other words, you are Trumpists, save those who have been spared. Each one of you is aware of what is within your heart. Your stupid people think that you want to be freed from American authoritarianism by inclining towards Russia. On the other hand, I, Allah's Caliph Al-Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yamani, give you a ruling with the truth that both Arab leaders and Russia are allies of Trump, and they are being obliged to do whatever Trump, the leader of the human devils, and the cadres of his party command them to execute. So you do as you are told, save those who have been spared among you. Indeed, Allah knows best what is within yourselves, so how could you feel secure from His planning? Only imbecilic people think that KSA is rebelling against the US, and I wish they were. The truth is they are rising against the humanitarian Christian Joseph Biden that closes an affection towards Muslims. If you were doing it out of ignorance, I would not have blamed you. But you know that Donald Trump seeks to achieve the greatest Zionist country, and you approve of Zionizing the Muslim people and changing their religion with the religion of Al-Taghut, except for a few of you. You also want to distinguish the light of Allah, but it will never happen. We shall see who will die in their rage, or you who execute drama serials in the full summits of the dead officials. May Allah exterminate you as He did to the evil Prince Mohammed bin Salman when He hit him with his firm planning the COVID of no escape from death just before he could travel to Beijing. May Allah annihilate all of Trump's allies among the Arabs and non-Arabs. He indeed knows best what is within the heart of His servants. O you who feel secure from the planning of Allah, you will know that Allah is faster in plotting and swifter in punishing. It is staggering how people believe Dr. Tedros Adhanom when he declared the end of COVID-19 as a pandemic. As a matter of fact, he was commanded by many leaders to do this to abdicate their responsibility for the global calamity of Omicron so that they would not treat their peoples at the expense of the country. but they have to pay for themselves to receive treatment as means of compensation for the country's economic loss owing to the war of corona. Leaders of governments cannot disclaim responsibility towards their people's needed healthcare services unless the World Health Organization declares end to the global emergency status for COVID-19 despite knowing it did not. The WHO are totally aware that the war of COVID has not ended yet, and they know they are a bunch of liars. Notwithstanding, I announced by the command of Allah the beginning of the raids of the Rapid Intervention Forces of the COVID variants, the firm planning from Allah. You surely cannot overcome the war of Allah, the one the overpowering. I did not challenge the world with a viral gnat out of my own accord, but it is Allah who promised you to show you an example of His power by empowering His caliph on the whole dominion of the world by His tiniest creatures ever mentioned in the Qur'an. A viral gnat and not a mosquito, but much tinier. It is the tiniest living creature ever mentioned in the book. Thanks to Allah, Lord of the worlds, Allah's caliph Al-Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yamani never contradicts what he says. And I do not invent pretexts to allow me to change my words like you do. You contradict your statements amidst the emergence of each new COVID strain. Unlike you, my statements are decisive and are not to be taken for amusement. I taught you that COVID is much smarter than you because Allah instructed it. It will also make your knowledge futile so that you'll never be able to know its origin, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted.
تصديقا لقول الله تعالى فذرني ومن يكذب بهذا الحديث سنستدرجهم من حيث لا يعلمون وأملي لهم إن كيدي متين أم تسألهم أجرا فهم من مغرم مثقلون أم عندهم الغيب فهم يكتبون فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تكن كصاحب الحوت إذ نادى وهو مكظوم لولا أن تداركه نعمة من ربه لنبذ بالعراء وهو مذموم فاجتباه ربه فجعله من الصالحين وإن يكاد الذين كفروا ليزلقونك بأبصارهم لما سمعوا الذكر ويقولون إنه لمجنون وما هو إلا ذكر للعالمين صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Al-Qalam, verses 44 to 52. In addition, you'll never know how it hits you or how it plots against your body. I have taught you that the soldiers of Allah are triumphant by the command of Allah. Also, I taught you that Omicron is a viral alliance of partners, which they later call the recombinant. Not to mention, I described for you the so-called Omicron before you discovered it and declared it a global calamity. The time has come for the Rapid Intervention Forces to react since first announcing its readiness on the 29th of April 2023 and for the discharge of the squadrons of COVID of no escape from death. These are the firm planning of Allah dedicated to the inquisious, so where would you escape? To submarines and seabeds? Or perhaps to the moon's surface or strong and high towers? That is impossible. They are empowered by Allah's might to operate in ways that defy your scientific fancy, and they carry out the command of Allah. I have already warned you that what is written in the red box on the front page of Imam Mahdi Nasser Muhammad Al-Yamani's website, series of clarifications about coronavirus and its well-concealed secret, is not a fictional war in a Hollywood film, but a real war, and you will witness its ferocity in actual reality through a mind-boggling plot. Anyway, it will only become clear to those with understanding who will give up their arrogance and vanity to read the statements about coronavirus and its well-concealed secret. You are now aware of the goal of the World Health Organization and the wisdom behind it being forced by decision-makers and Tedros Adhanom being threatened by human devils to falsely announce the end of the health emergency related to corona, while the WHO know that they are lying and that it has become more ferocious than before and it has not been lessened or weakened. The truth is Allah increased its power with consecutive supporting new and severe soldiers. And leaders of the world will never be able to resist them despite their tenacity. They will humiliate their arrogance and take away their vanity. O Muslims, you did not take a lesson from what the soldiers of COVID did with those who disbelieve in the Qur'an in major countries. And the calamity of COVID is continuing in a more severe and lasting war. Do you want to be touched by its powerful, mighty, and terrible punishment so that you become believers? Wait for the decisive battle of COVID this summer of 2023 by the command of Allah, its leader and tutor, who taught it how to afflict the planet of man, who is a giant in comparison with its size. You shall know the truth about the challenge set in the clear verses of the great Quran, in which Allah promises to empower His Caliph, Imam Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yamani, over the dominion of the world by His tiniest creature ever in the Quran, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted.
تصديقا لقول الله تعالى إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض أولئك هم الخاسرون صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Al-Baqarah, Chapter 2, verses 26 to 27. O the famous supporters of Satan in the worlds, I give you tidings of the calamity of COVID for your arrogance, vanity, and mockery of Allah's Caliph on the dominion of the world. Your end is as determined as 1 + 1 = 2 is. O Allah, I bear witness that you have chosen me to be your Caliph on the whole dominion of the worlds. O Allah, if I am truthful, empower me with your might and power for covetous and cosmic calamities as per what I promised them using your clear verses of the Quran. O Allah, advance them their share of torment and annihilate every arrogant tyrant. O Allah, let COVID cut off the awards of the haughty ones who are worthless before you, causing their destruction. Those who ally with the most evil trump, they will know they are nugatory and all power belongs to Allah, starting from the tiny knot of viral strains and bigger. They shall know who is weaker in allies and lesser in a multitude. I bear witness to Allah that no matter how He supports me with His soldiers, victory is from nothing but Him, the Almighty, the Praiseworthy. I advised you many times that you should worship Allah alone, thus He increases your might and honor, but you do not like advisors. So why would I then grieve for those folks who agree to distinguish the light of Allah? But Allah will not allow except that His light should be perfected, even to the dismay of His enemies in the worlds. You disbelieve because I call you to worship Allah alone and call upon Him alone with no partners with Him. But when others are associated with Him in worship, you believe. Indeed, judgment belongs to Allah, the Most High, the Great, and all matters return to Him in decision. He is the best protector and helper. None shall lose faith, except whose faith and certainty in the capability of Allah is weak. O my supporters, do not weaken no matter how they lied and agree in hiding the truth to distinguish the light of Allah. He will definitely humiliate the arrogance and vanity of His enemies, so let them die in their rage. Allah will dignify His allies and perfect their light of faith because they know that Nasser Muhammad Al-Yamani is the true promise of Allah, the man whom Allah taught the true clarification of the Quran. O people, the lion-like viruses of which I warned you more than 3 years ago are about to attack the enemies of Allah among you to kill them when they are standing, sitting, or lying on their sides, causing the absence of many famous officials from TV screens. I warn the peoples of the world not to seize by force the belongings of each other when they find themselves without a government to rule them. And I prohibit man's injustice toward his fellow man. I swear by Allah the Great that to me there is no difference between a Yemeni and a Chinese. For had the truth followed your desires, the heavens, the earth, and all those in them would have certainly been corrupted out of injustice. Let me conclude my statement by saying,
قال الله تعالى: وأنذر الناس يوم يأتيهم العذاب فيقول الذين ظلموا ربنا أخرنا إلى أجل قريب نجب دعوتك ونتبع الرسل أولم تكونوا أقسمتم من قبل ما لكم من زوال وسكنتم في مساكن الذين ظلموا أنفسهم وتبين لكم كيف فعلنا بهم وضربنا لكم الأمثال وقد مكروا مكرهم وعند الله مكرهم وإن كان مكرهم لتزول منه الجبال فلا تحسبن الله مخلف وعده رسله إن الله عزيز ذو انتقام. صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Ibrahim, verses 44 to 47. The fulfillment of the promise of Allah in the clear verses of His book in the verses below has come.
الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات طوبى لهم وحسن مآب كذلك أرسلناك في أمة قد خلت من قبلها لتتلو عليهم الذي أوحينا إليك وهم يكفرون بالرحمن قل هو ربي لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وإليه متاب ولو أن قرآنا سيرت به الجبال أو قطعت به الأرض أو كلم به الموتى بل لله الأمر جميعا أفلم ييأس الذين آمنوا أن لو يشاء الله لهدى الناس جميعا ولا يزال الذين كفروا تصيبهم بما صنعوا قارعة أو تحل قريبا من دارهم حتى يأتي وعد الله إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Ar-Ra'd, verses 29 to 31. That is the promise of Allah for His true messengers to perfect the light of Allah in the worlds by His skill of Al-Mahdi Nasser Muhammad Al-Yamani, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted.
تصديقا لقول الله تعالى: وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. صدق الله العظيم.
Surah An-Nur, verse 55. Allah raised Al-Mahdi Nasser Muhammad Al-Yamani to make this great Quran easy for you to understand, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted.
تصديقا لقول الله تعالى: فإنما يسرناه بلسانك لعلهم يتذكرون فارتقب إنهم مرتقبون. صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Ad-Dukhan, verses 58 to 59. Allah shall torment you during my life, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted.
تصديقا لقول الله تعالى ويقولون لولا أنزل عليه آية من ربه فقل إنما الغيب لله فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Yunus, verse 20. Peace be upon the messengers and all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Allah's Caliph on the whole dominion of the worlds, Imam Mahdi Nasser Muhammad Al-Yamani.